What's up? Welcome to the What's Your Rub live stream, Ep 14.
14 already.
Knocking them down, man. Knocking them down.
Yeah, man. So
What's
what's going
you,
on, man? Another weekend, man. Just, we cooked some Scotch eggs yesterday, so I'm just all fat and sassy, still living on leftovers.
Yeah, shit looks bomb.
Yeah,
a little
man.
bit of that food daddy on there.
Yeah. Oh, that's sweet and sassy. That's what I said. The only thing missing was a little ghost roast. Just spice it a little bit. I was out. So, but yeah, it's killer, man.
Yeah, I'm thinking we might put Willow on that for her first little competition. Maybe some eggs like that, man.
Man, so easy, so good. Oh, you can get so much flavor in those, dude. Unreal.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got new merch. We got new merch dropped over the weekend.
Merch is out. Merch for everything. It's here. It's on the link tree. Jump on the link tree. We got the OG Great White Smoke stuff. We got some Kentuckiana barbecue stuff. Got some What's Rub stuff on there.
That's right.
Growing by the day.
Yeah. And they're selling. They're selling too. So thanks to everybody picking it up, man. And we're glad to see everybody, into it.
Yeah. And that's something, just so everybody knows, if you join the series, that's something we're going to be able to hook you up with. So we can get your logos. We can put them on the shirts and that kind of give you your own link. And that way you can push that stuff also if that is something that you are interested in. But
yeah, we talked about
little perk.
Yeah, talked about this building out Kentuckiana barbecue pitmaster store. I know Jacob Gherkin, Smokin Pickles is already, they're going to get the logos together that they want. And that's just, we keep them simple, small front, big back. They're all the same price. What you see our prices at or what they're going to be on the store. It's print on demand, so you don't have no inventory. We don't have to mess with it. People want your shirts. They can buy them. You want one or two. You can buy whatever you want. They got so many styles and colors too, man. I was blown away. Free service. So happy to help with anybody's.
Yeah, for sure. Update. We've got our beginners to backyard class, April 8th, Bloomington, Indiana. We have 5 seats left. That is it. We're down to the last 5. If you are wanting to get on there, sign up. Now is the time because we are about out.
Especially if you're a team duo, that's 2 teams left. So, I wouldn't hesitate. It's going to sell out probably this week. So,
absolutely. And those are paid seats. So we are up to 5 seats left. So that's good stuff. That's good stuff for sure. So, man, we got a guest tonight, man. I'm pumped about this. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Mr. Josh Dewitt. I'm gonna go ahead and bring him on here.
Yeah, JDQ. Boom.
Yeah. What's up, my man?
What's up, guys?
Yeah, how we doing?
I'm good, man. I'm tired. I'm exhausted.
You've had a couple weeks, right? You've had a couple weeks going on this last couple weeks, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. Houston was crazy, and then even this past week in our own backyard here in Kansas City was crazy. So just trying to get over this past Saturday, Sunday. But yeah, I had a lot of fun this past weekend too.
Yeah. So tell us, since we're talking class, tell us about the class. Like how did that flush out for you?
So Ryan Kane, Damn Fine Beef and Swine came to us. He's a Royal Oak team as well. He works at the store. He came with this great idea of wanting to give back to really the team aspect of continuing to build the backyard division because that's where he got started, and came with this great idea. And we just said, yeah, let's roll with this thing. And we just built with it, and he put this thing together, and we just ran with it, and it blew up. It absolutely blew up.
So cool. Great concept.
It did. And one phone call after another, Craig called, wanted to jump on board with Royal Oak, wanted to provide stuff. Prairie Fresh jumped on board. We have a local meat market here in town that wanted to jump on with the chicken. And so we were able to provide all the meat for the guys. And once we put the stuff up on the website, it literally, I think it was an hour and a half. We had 13 teams that had signed up. And we had to, it was super cool.
Tell us about the setup, how you guys did it. What was different than like a normal, just, you come to a class and you sit in front of a bunch of guys showing you how to do it. You guys made it very hands-on.
Well, it wasn't so much that it was hands-on to say from a class aspect. We didn't want to do like a tell-all to where like Jeremy and I were given like all of our secrets from like a ribs aspect, or Ryan wasn't given all of his secrets from like a chicken aspect. We wanted to say, here is, a competition approach for ribs. Here's a competition approach for chicken. Now you have recipes. So here you see it. Now you got it. Here's ribs. Here's chicken. We went through a 3-hour approach, but a good hour of that was here's timelines, here's recipes. But a big part of that was, Brian from Weeze's Groove and Barbecue, who's out of Chicago. He was the number 2 guy in Backyard last year. He came in from Chicago, and he really broke down along with Ryan of this is what you need to bring to a comp. I traveled the nation in his 4Runner, and I had 2 cans on the back of my truck. And, this is what I brought. This is how I navigated a comp from being in rain, being in snow. This is, if I needed power, this is what I needed to bring. I slept in a tent. This is what I had to deal with. So, these guys that came, some of them had cooked in a couple comps and some of them had never cooked in comps. So these guys really, truly got, hands-on experience and in-depth knowledge of, okay, this is what I'm going to have to do if I'm going to come do this. And then I got to turn around and come back that next day and park in our back parking lot at 5:30 in the morning and set up and do a full comp with true turn-ins, with true KCBS judges, and then got that information back from those judges and came in and got to hear exactly what the judges scored and why they scored that. And it was super cool to get to see it. We got then to have winners, the GC and RGC, and really truly break down from both categories and see what they got.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's super. That's cool, man. Because like the tell-alls are cool because you get to see what individual people are doing. But at the end of the day, you still got to cook it, right? It doesn't matter if you can use the exact same stuff as any guy on the block, but you still got to cook it, and that's really what's important, right? So that's having that focus, and then especially being able to turn around and actually do a cook the very next day while everything's still fresh in your mind. Mm-hmm. Like that's an awesome way to do it, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And on top of that, you had the Butcher, the Ghost, Heath Riles. The little gift basket that these guys got of rubs and injections and just things. I never got this, coming up. And unfortunately here in Kansas City, we didn't have a backyard division. When Ryan Kane got started, he came to the store and started working at the store. He came to Jeremy and I, and he was like, I want to learn, teach me. And he was already a good cook.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Jeremy and I helped him, and, he got started in his first comp. He went and cooked the American Royal Backyard, and he won. And that was the coolest thing in the world.
That is wild.
Yeah.
And I give so much credit to him. He's such a good cook. And, I say unfortunately, but fortunately, last year he was in the backyard, but they needed a team to step up and cook a master's division. And he went and cooked it, and he ended up RGCing it. And it cooked him out of the the backyard and made him cook masters.
Yep.
And now he's killing it in the masters division. He has a bung for the Jack this next year. He's just that good.
That's awesome. That's what we say, and we always talk about, man, my trailer's open. I'll tell anybody anything, but I always maintain that you still have to go cook it. I can tell you exactly what I'm going to do, but you have to be able to do it too. And Ryan's definitely proven that, sounds like. So
absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Well, cool swag packs, man. Speaking of rubs, you got a couple rubs, right? A couple rubs on the market.
I do.
Yeah,
I do. I've been very fortunate. The original, the OG, it hits. It's a good rub, and I've been very blessed, very humbled, very fortunate that it's taken off. It's good.
And now the spicy,
the spicy. And when it came out, everybody's like, "Why didn't you call it a hot rub?" Because it's not a hot rub. Yeah, I didn't want something that would blow your mouth up. I wanted something that, had a little bit of heat to it, but at the same token, I wanted to be able that you can continue to eat, that you can continue to go through, and it just want to kill your palate. And so
it's good. The combo, bro, that 1-2 combo is killer on all the pork I've had it on.
Thank you. Well,
for sure.
I got to tell you, we got a little thing called the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang Gang, and that's that Trauma Hogs too. And if you haven't tried that Trauma Hogs, you got to get on that Trauma Hogs tip too, man.
You was telling us about that at the Invitational. I remember that, and the Ridge Bros were down there. They were talking about that. Definitely gonna have to do that.
They're SPGs on another level. I mean, it got this onion on the backside of it, and you mix those three together, and it's just
that's a
the
melody,
chitty
right?
chitty bang bang. I like it.
So
man, that's awesome.
Craig will tell you he's the originator of that.
Right. He likes the names, man. He likes coming up with them nicknames for shit.
It's something special for sure. So,
right.
Very cool.
So you're working on number 3?
I am.
Yeah.
I am. Yeah. And possibly a 4th. And I've been dipping and dabbing in a sauce. So,
shit.
So the 3rd, I keep the timelines. It keeps coming out around the Royal or sometime late summer. So I got my first batch back a couple months ago, and it's good. And I actually played with it in Houston, and I don't know. Justin West put out a post the other day. I left my cup in Houston.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw it.
He made a little poster about me getting my cup back, and unless I'm gonna send him some of my rubs. So
okay,
but,
very cool.
If
you're dropping some in the mail, I'll hit you with that address.
There you go, man.
Yeah,
really.
No,
so
that's awesome, man.
What's your next big show going to be? If you're gonna
So I got another class this weekend at the store. We got a backyard class that Jeremy and I are doing at Casey Grilling Company, and it's the 3 most common questions that walk into our store: how do you cook chicken? How do you cook pork? How do you cook ribs? And we got 20 people signed up for it right now. We could probably take a couple more. That's getting a little crowded in our store, but the more the merrier.
Right.
We're going to spatchcock chickens. We're going to turn them into tacos. We're taking pork. Going to make some Cubano sandwiches. And then we're just going to do some St. Louis style ribs and show them how to make some good backyard ribs. So I got people flying in from Texas, coming in from Oklahoma, and the good old Kansas City crew coming out. So it'll be cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's awesome, man.
So then
speaking of Texas, right?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about Texas, man. That's a bucket list thing for me, so I'm excited to hear about it, man. I'm still seeing people. I'm still seeing the pictures. Man, you had a couple photo dumps on there. I was drooling as I was, sliding through and that sort of thing. So it was cool to watch, from our end, kind of seeing what all was going on down there, seeing some of the videos come out. There were some videos that caught kind of the moment when, the finalists and stuff were announced. That was cool shit to watch. So
So my wife is actually the one that caught that video.
Yeah.
First and foremost, to be able to get to share that experience with my wife and my son.
Right.
Out of control, because it's a bucket list cook for me. I got asked to go last year and I couldn't because it's my son's spring break. I share time with my son from California to here in Kansas City, and we just didn't know if he was up to it last year, so we didn't go. But we took him to Windy City Smokeout last year in Chicago, and he killed it, had a blast. So we knew he would be up for it this year, and so we decided to make the trip, and we went down there. And the Brew Crew cookers are an outstanding group. You're surrounded by world champions, master chefs, Leslie, Craig. I mean, it's family. It's all the guys that I've known, I've cooked with for a ton of times. Justin West, Limp Brisket. I mean, it's all the family.
Right.
But Houston's on another level. I mean, the Royal's my backyard, and I've got to cook it 7 years now. And I mean, I've been lucky enough to walk that big stage. But walking into Houston's just different. It's something else. Like the money that is spent there is out of control. The tents. I mean, it's literally like they build like saloons. Like they're air conditioned, they're heated. There's dance floors. I know what my company spends on what we do at the Royal, and it's just multiplied by like 10. And it's just like, it's crazy. And I mean, and you cook. I mean, you cook a lot. I mean, have sponsor lunches and dinners on Thursday and Friday and Saturday. I mean, we cooked, with Craig, 2 gators and a hog, and we did a fish fry, and we did steaks, and I mean, dude, we cooked so much food. It was unreal.
Was that in the big shed, Smokin Bros? I guess you guys sent that big pellet cooker. Craig was talking about that.
Yeah, it's called the Shack, and it's we have a bigger one called the Barn, and then it's the second one down is called the Shack. And we took it down there, and I cooked on it the whole weekend that we were down there, and it's a stud.
What's capacity like on that? Pork butts? How many pork butts you putting on that thing?
I can't even tell you, dude. Too many to count. I mean, there's
you count them in cases. Count them in cases.
It's 6 racks. It's 5 foot by 4 foot wide. And I mean, there's 2 hoppers, and it's 60-pound hoppers. So I mean, it's huge.
I got to see the barn after this. This is the shed. This is the second one down.
Yeah, the barn's 4 hoppers, and I mean, it's massive.
Silos, pellet silos.
It runs, $16,000 to buy. So I mean, the barn's roughly, I think, $26,000 to buy.
Right.
So we can build them for anybody, and we can get them to you. So just let us know.
Nice. Smokin Bros. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. But I remember the first one I ever seen was like a little red barn. I seen it at a co-op, man, and they were cooking out on a display on that thing, and it cooked really well, man.
No, I love it. And that's one of my sponsors, and I've been blessed by those guys since I met Ryan and his family, and they're 100% made in the United States down in Chaffee. They have killer pellet grills, 20-inch gauge steels, and we sell a ton of them at our store, and I got one on my back deck. And I mean,
enough to take to Houston,
Yeah, they're great, absolutely great. But once we got into that competition, it was go time. And I mean, it was so much fun cooking with Justin and, Limp Brisket and those guys. But, once that time came in between 5 and 6, and all those guys were like, they're going to give you banners. They're going to come up here, and nothing happened. And we were all just kind of like, what happened?
Right.
And then all of a sudden, somebody stopped by our tent, and they're like, they haven't left yet. And we're like, oh, okay. They're going to come here in like a half hour. They're going to start walking. And we're just like, okay. And all of a sudden, it's like what I would think of like Mardi Gras, I guess, would be people just start walking down this alley, and they're making all this noise, but you don't know where they're going. And then all of a sudden, they just turn at your tent.
Right.
It's just nuts. And Cutter, who's the main guy, he just started jumping up and down, and they're hooting and hollering and banging on stuff, and they start yelling, there's 2 banners, there's 2 banners. And this is my first experience, I didn't really know what was going on. I'm standing there, I think you can kind of see me in one of the videos. I'm kind of looking around like, what's going on?
Right.
He jumps up with one of them, and he spreads it out, and it's brisket, and it's just like, and what I was kind of told is brisket's kind of weighed heavier in Houston. And then he jumps up with another one, and he starts pointing around. He's looking for Justin, and he's pointing at him because then it's ribs, and Justin, he won ribs the year before. And so it's like, we go into this thing like, holy cow, we got 2 banners, and the main meats is chicken, ribs, and brisket. So then we all go running up towards, the main stage, and we get up there. There I am with my wife and my son and the rest of all of us that are up there. And, they take all the finalists, and only one guy gets to go up to the stage. And they have, the chicken guys, the rib guys, the brisket guys, the dessert guys, the one meat guys, or the open guys, I guess is what they called it. And then they have the finalists, and they count them down, but they don't count them down. They only do top 2 in each category.
Right.
And so they do ribs, or they do the open, they do dessert, then they do chicken, they do ribs, they do brisket, and then they do GC or RGC and GC, and then it's over. And so we don't hear our names at all.
Right.
And it's like, well, what did we get?
3rd or 8th.
Yeah. We just cooked our ass off. Like, where are we at? We know we find
right.
them.
Right.
And so we're all like disappointed, but not disappointed. And so you go back to your tent, and you're like, so we're through 10th, we think.
Right.
We hope. Like, how bad was chicken? Because the chicken we didn't turn in was really, really good.
Right.
But it's barbecue, and I mean, there's always that table you can land on.
100%.
And
300 teams, yeah.
Oh, and so we go back, and I have to put my son on a plane the next morning, and he has to fly back to California. And Jess and I then after that have to drive back to Kansas City, and so we got a 12-hour drive back. And so we're up at 7:30 from our Airbnb. We get in the car, get to the airport, put him on a plane, start driving. We have no idea. And so about 9:30, we're getting chased by tornadoes in Oklahoma, trying to get back to Kansas City. About 9:30, we finally get a phone call with how we did. And it was like, holy crap, this is real. We just took 8th at the Houston Rodeo.
Right.
And that's just surreal. I mean, it's holy cow. Like, that's just one of those things. Dude. And when you start looking back, and I think all barbecue guys do this, and I mean, we were, I think Justin put it the best way, like, we were 7 points away from winning. I think that was the total.
Right.
Okay. I'll take that for my first trip to Houston.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, cool. to get any banner down there, much less have two, win or lose, like you said, that's a stacked field, man. 8th place. That's nothing to, I mean, that's wild, dude, for sure.
Absolutely. For sure. But it's a total team thing. And I mean, Craig created this monster with the Brew Crew guys years ago. And I think he said that a couple weeks ago on your guys' show and explained how that whole thing went down. And again, I'm super blessed just to be mentioned in conversations and being asked to get to go cook with some of these guys. And I will go when I get called and just thank God that I get the phone calls to get to go do some of these things. It's just cool when my name gets mentioned to get to go do some of these things.
Right. We talk about every show so far about the Royal Oak family, man, just in general. And I mean, it's what I was saying, that ever since we've become a part of that family, I mean, I feels like we've got family from coast to coast. You know what I mean? So that's cool, man. Because it was just a stacked. I mean, you guys were stacked too, and it's cool that was all within the family.
Oh, for sure. So I mean, Jesse Romero. I don't know if you know that name or not, but I mean, he was on MasterChef. Like Cutter was on MasterChef, and so like just the little, like, and I shouldn't even say little because those are like, it's big, but like the guys that were there to help cook that are huge cooks, like just the side, like sous chefs or whatever you want to call them. Like my kid was sitting there at a table with like all these guys that were on TV, and like London looked at me and goes, "Dad, you're the only guy at this table that hasn't been on TV." It's like, I know, like,
right?
New goal.
You gotta love kids, man. You gotta love them kids.
So, and my kid's been on TV more than me,
right?
It's just funny, but no, it's so cool, so much fun, and you're exactly right. That Royal Oak family, and anywhere I go, like even going out to visit him in California, and if he has stuff that I can't go to because whatever the case is, and there's a barbecue competition going on and I need to waste time or whatever, I can hit up any of those guys and I can go just hang out or go to a barbecue store or whatever the case is. And I'm welcomed in open arms or whatever the case is. And that's 100%. Those are the open doors that this is allowed to happen. So it's super cool.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and maybe, dude, barbecue country, Royal Oak, head sponsor, dude. They're going to be doing new mentors. Hopefully that goes for 10 seasons. Maybe we'll all get a crack at it.
Yeah, who knows? That'd be super cool. Actually, it was kind of funny. The Battle Brothers, a team out of Tennessee that came. So this weekend at our backyard event, we had 3 teams, one from Alaska, one from Tennessee, and one from Illinois that all came to it. And the team from Tennessee, one of the guys that came, I think his name was Josh Ford. He actually applied for that. He didn't get in, but it was still cool that one of those guys applied for that and everything else. And it's just kind of cool hearing his story and who he was, and ended up on our back door at this whole thing and talking about that process and just talking to him like, dude, don't give up, man. Keep doing that. Keep pushing the door. Keep rolling for what you're doing, and you'll get there. Just keep
100%.
Yep. No,
that's cool. I mean, Charles says it all the time, man. Miss all the shots you don't take. So,
absolutely,
that's it. Yeah, you just got to keep shooting for sure. So, yeah, I've been the store out there, man. It's cool. So I stopped in there last year. My company does a couple meetings, and one of them's out there in Overland Park.
Mm-hmm.
So I spent a few days out there in Overland Park, had some time to kill. I come in the weekend before because I was in Columbia, Missouri that Thursday, Friday, and then I had to be in Overland Park Monday and Tuesday. So I went ahead and came into KC, and I stopped by while I was out there, man. You guys have got everything under the sun. So it's a cool thing, man. If anybody out there, if you get a chance to stop by, definitely do. All cool people in there. Everybody was super nice. Ton of stuff. I mean, if you can't find something you like in there, you're in the wrong place for sure. But yeah. So what's
Deep
next on your
barbecue
stop,
culture.
man?
What now?
What's next on your stop? What events you got planning this year?
So Q-Latha is like the first big comp in Kansas City to say, and that's the weekend after next. I think usually they have 75 to 80 teams out there, and it's pretty big, and
Right.
It brings in a lot of teams. So like at Barbecue USA, the big Food Network show, that was the first episode they did last year was there. If you remember that or not. So that was pretty cool. But we'll be there. Jeremy and I will be out there representing. After that, we'll have Osage, which is huge. There's usually 100 teams out there. And then, honestly, after that, there's really nothing in the local Kansas City area in the month of May. But then Jeremy's son is a rock star stud baseball player. And so we'll kind of take a break for month of May because he's playing high school. And then in June, he's made some huge, big Indiana traveling team. So they're moving to Indiana for the month of May so he can go do what he does and get seen and hopefully get picked up by some huge college team and go do what he needs to do for what he does.
We're about in Indiana. We got it covered tip to tip, man. You got family here.
I got you. I don't even know where he's staying. I'm sure they're staying in some Airbnb or whatever the case is. But
make sure they reach out. They need anything, man, for sure.
I'll tell
come visit too, man.
I will tell Jeremy that for sure. But in June here in Kansas City, it does kind of pick up. We have that Made in KC contest, which is a super cool contest because that's Brad and Bree from Smokin Magic. They won that huge contest that got them their new restaurant in the new airport. And so every year that new contract comes up. And so that will come back up. And so we actually took 5th in that last year. And so I'll have to figure out how I'm going to navigate that because we'll sign back up for that, but it's a lottery. So I think there were like 60 some 60 odd teams like signed up for it, and then 30 some odd teams actually get picked for it. So who knows? Ryan Kane will probably sign up for it. I'll sign up for it. If one of us doesn't get picked, then one of us will probably help the other guy, or we'll figure it out. Who knows? Yeah. So there's enough of us around here that we'll figure it out. So
Jeremy said Westfield, Charles. So he's right between us. Yeah, you're gonna be right between me and Charles.
Yeah. Grand Sport Parks comp. Yeah, nice. Yeah, that spot in the airport, man. That place is super cool. I've been watching the pictures and all that stuff. Yeah, that's a badass spot for sure. They did it up right. It looks awesome.
I haven't had a chance to go check it out. I know Bree and Brad have worked their tails off getting stuff in there, and I know they're associated with Old World and Amy Young, and those guys have busted their ass. And then Meet Mitch is in there, got a spot in there, and everything I've seen, it's a great representation of Kansas City, and you can't come to Kansas City without getting barbecue. And a good friend of mine, JJ, who's a big-time chef and travels all across the nation, he made a post the other day, and he landed there, and he goes, well, Kansas City, you're in Kansas City because it smells like barbecue. So I guess that's a good thing. So
it's cool, man.
Yeah, Jacob says that's a nice complex. Yeah, his girls are into that stuff, I think, a little bit. So Craig's in the comments, says Scooby. Scooby with his names. Yeah. What's up, Craig? How you doing tonight? So
very cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. But so this third go ahead.
I was gonna say, there's a couple other cool things coming up. We got NASCAR coming to town. There's some rumors about us possibly doing some stuff with NASCAR. We'll see what comes up in May. Who knows? Smokin Brothers got a lot of different things that they keep throwing at us, but we'll see. So that's one of the biggest, coolest things that's happened with Smokin Brothers is their new tie-in with Myron Mixon, and
Right.
that they're building their new Myron Mixon grills and their new pellet grills, and that's a really cool thing. I don't know if you guys have seen those new Myron Mixon grills or not.
Yeah,
but their new pellet grills that they're building for those guys.
absolutely. Cool. Oh yeah, that is cool. Yeah, the somebody was cooking on one of those. I'm trying to think of where I saw it. They had like a big release of that, just like a couple, maybe a month ago. It's left me though.
Well, we did the When Pigs Fly.
That was it. That was it.
So like Matt Greiner was down there cooking a whole hog on one, and then we had 2 different contests going on in an arena where we had all those cookers going off. So we had an SCA event going on, and then we had kind of a different event, but we had, I think they were cooking pork tenderloins and pork steaks. And then Jeremy and I were like the coaches of the coaches, however you want to put it. We had a bunch of Sonny Lynn and Bob Trudunk and a bunch of different guys were all in there cooking and coaching different municipalities. And it was a blast. We raised a ton of money for charity, and that was super cool for what it went down with. So,
yeah. That's what I was thinking of. I knew that was a big event too. That's another cool concept.
Yeah.
That's kind of,
for sure.
That could be like a traveling circus. Like you could take that city to city.
Yeah.
And you can put stuff on. You really could. I mean, because every arena that hosts monster trucks or, any of those kind of things, you could really do that because they all have the exhaust. So you really could have indoor cook-offs.
Yeah. A lot of stadiums can open this, open the roof too. I mean, Indianapolis, they can open the whole stadium up. So
it's just a matter of somebody putting it together and getting all of us in there because people will come cook.
Right.
Especially in cold states during the winter.
Oh yeah.
I'd love to go cook somewhere, especially here in Kansas City, man, because it gets cold here. Let me come cook in the middle of somewhere. So.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, I feel you, man. Northern Indiana doesn't stay tropical up here, that's for sure. So, yeah, it's been mild this year, though. I mean, it hadn't been too bad, but been fortunate, been able to get out and do a little practicing and stuff like that. But man, it's usually the wind is usually brutal. So even if it's warm enough, a lot of times, man, it's still uncomfortable. But yeah, we don't get that. It'd be nice to have a couple indoor spots like that so we can kind of keep up with them Texas and Florida guys and get to cook all year round, right? Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, I gotta give a shout out to my boy Bill Purvis. Bill Purvis, a gangster.
Killing it.
Straight up. I mean, that dude, I mean, Uncle Bill, there's dudes that I just love in this game. And he's one of my favorites. I talk to him, 2-3 times a month, and he just killed it yesterday at the rodeo in Austin.
Yeah.
I mean, he won San Antonio. He won Austin. I mean, what other rodeos are there to win besides, Houston? And I mean,
his pictures, that chicken, man.
He gets to go cook Houston next year on Champions Row because he won San Antonio. San Antonio has a deal with Houston. So watch out, Houston, because he gets to go cook all 3 next year on his own.
Big Bill coming to town.
Yeah.
Dude, that chicken, I mean, just the pictures. I mean, it's just the other level, dude. I mean, there's the other level, and then there's Bill.
Straight up. His jailbird chicken's stupid.
It's crazy.
Yeah, man, it's awesome for sure. We've been trying to get him on here. I hollered at him this last week. I know he was busy down there winning. So but yeah, I've been giving him a little grief trying to get a little bit of that new chicken stuff he's working on, trying to get him to send us some. But yeah, man, we'd love to have him on the show. I love his stuff, man. I've talked to him. We talked to him at the Invitational last year a little bit, and just a cool dude, man, for sure. Real down to earth, and definitely killing the barbecue game right now for sure. So
he is one of the nicest guys, most humble guys, most real guys I have ever met in my entire life. Will give you the shirt off his back. Yeah. Like I can't explain it. He picks up the phone every time I call. And
we talked about it, man. I mean, that's what's same at the Invitational, going trailer to trailer, everybody, and we're all there competing. Yeah. But I mean, it felt like more like a family reunion. Everybody is just so eager to see how you've been. I mean, barbecue people, man, nothing like it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely a family type deal for sure.
100%.
So cool, man. What else you got going on? I know you said you were working on a third rub a little bit. You gonna give us a little hint as to what the profile's looking like on that number 3 and 4? Or?
You got some garlic in it.
All right. Okay.
Can't be mad at that.
All my rubs play with the OG. That's the base to it. And I mean, if Jeremy's on here still, I mean, whoever's on here, Jason's on here. I can't see who's on here, but I mean, a lot of the guys, if they're on here still, they've all tasted it.
Right.
So I've played with it at the Royal. We played with it in Houston. It's good, and there's a lot of guys out here that say it's the best out of the 3 that I have.
All right.
I think it's close.
Yep.
So is it another pork rub, or is this going to be chicken based, or are we going to lean beef?
I don't
everything.
I think it can be really anything, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah. Hey, man.
And I think when I do it right, I think I actually could pull the garlic back out, and I think it could be more an all-purpose, and I think I can make 2 out of it.
Yeah.
So it's just, and then, from a sauce standpoint, my rib sauce that I've been playing with for the past 2 years that I've done really well with, I think I might bring it out. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I don't know.
All the shots you don't take.
Right. I think I have the best co-packer in the world. Tastemaker is phenomenal. I mean, that's who makes Heath Rouse and Malcolm Reed and Trauma Hogs. And I mean, they're
good company for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of good co-packers out there. I think I'm blessed with the best. So when I need something, I can call my boy Chris, and he's on it. And yeah, they're good people.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Love it.
That's awesome for sure.
No, I mean, I really, here in Kansas City, I started dibbing and dabbing with some craft barbecue people here. These guys, the company's called Chef J. I'm gonna give them a shout out. I mean, Justin and Tara, they're killing it. They've opened some doors for Jeremy and I get to do some pretty cool stuff. Right. I don't know if you guys saw some stuff. Jeremy and I went and got to cook at the Royal Stadium with them.
Oh, I remember seeing that. Yeah. I did see that.
We won a little taste contest among some other some craft guys here in Kansas City, and it was super cool. But these dudes are just killing it, and I mean they got a small little restaurant, and I mean it's all Texas style, and I mean they're awesome, and it's a total different version of what we cook, and it's fun, and I mean I enjoy what we cook. But there's a lot of times I get tired of eating what we cook.
Right.
And so getting to step out of the box and getting to learn a different version of what we cook, I love it.
Yeah.
And, and it's fun. And it's continuing education is the way I look at it. And it's being able to, teach my son something different. Not only can you cook this, but you can cook it this way too.
Mm-hmm.
And, and they're opening a lot of doors for me and for Jeremy and for us getting to do some more really cool things. And, we might have some pretty cool things that we might get to talk about here soon. I just can't talk about them yet.
I get that.
That's cool. It's cool. So, that craft scene here in Kansas City is kind of coming up, and it's fun. And it's fun that they call it craft because it's not Kansas City style barbecue. It's not sweet sauce all over the place. But it's cool. So I got to give my love to those guys too because they're super good people and love me some Justin and Tara for sure. Chef J's is good stuff.
Good deal.
That's cool. I always jump at the opportunity for that, man, because like most of us that cook this barbecue stuff, like we just like to cook, man. It's not, everybody thinks, oh, you're a barbecue guy, and I cook anything on a smoker. It doesn't matter what it is, but I just like to cook, man. And so any of these comps that kind of get outside of that normal stuff that we do, every weekend through the summer and stuff, like I really enjoy that, getting out and being able to do something a little bit different and throwing a little different twist on it. You said something about, being the typical Kansas City sauce and all that stuff. I've messed with these guys in our little series over here telling them we're going to do a comp with no sauce, man. Dry everything. Can't put sauce on anything. We want meat and rub, no sauce, and see how it turns out. So I mean, I just think it would be cool to do because you gotta do things a little different and to make it stand out. And that's fun for me for sure.
Absolutely. Somebody sent me a video a while back where they did a whole run on ribs, and they wrapped them and did it, and then after they pulled them out of the wraps, they hit it again with rubs, and it was really crazy. I'd never seen anything like it, and it was almost like they had a full bark, but it wasn't a full bark, and it was nuts. And I just like, that's weird. I wonder what that tastes like. And it's like, I'm gonna have to try that. And it's just a couple weeks ago when I saw that. It's like, I've never thought about anything like that. And it's just like, that would never go over with anything here in Kansas City at all. And it's just like, is that what Memphis is like? Because when I've been in Memphis, that wasn't what Memphis was like to me. But I mean, who knows? So I don't know. It was kind of crazy, but who knows? They liked them. They said it was outstanding. So I mean, okay.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool.
We did we had a local. It was like 40 team where you did the Charles had it. It was sauce and dry, man, and I was pretty surprised. There were a lot of good looking entries on the dry side.
2020, man. It was COVID. It was in October of 2020, coming out of back into first year of COVID or whatever, and we was trying to throw something together, and we got sponsors for it and did it. It was free for the teams to jump in, but it was ribs only. So we did a dry turn in and then a wet turn in on the ribs and ran it that way. And, ended up, I think we had a $2,500 payout, and then we ended up doing side bets at the event and ended up with another $1,400 in side bets. And, we partnered up with Scott Dickinson down there in Corden, Indiana. He's got a restaurant, 1816, man. If you're ever off 64 coming in towards Louisville, jump off at Corden, roll into downtown. It's a little corner spot. Man, I think he's got, 30 seats. It's a small joint, but man, food is top notch, 100% top notch. Dude is on top of his game for sure. But yeah, he partnered with us. We did an appetizer challenge. So you could turn in any appetizer, and he came in and he put the winning app on his menu for the summer. Or for the winter, for that winter. Yeah. So that was the winner for that. You got to come out, and we did a little video Facebook thing, and he put it on the menu and served it. And it was a cool deal. So but yeah, I mean, we capped it at 40 teams because we didn't have, it's all we had the room for, and we had people pouring in for that thing. Of course, like I said, into October COVID year, so people were itching to get out and just do something.
Free with a $2,500 payout, man. How many people will miss that?
Hell no, that's super cool.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. But getting the dry rib, we had that as one of the entries, the dry rib, and it was definitely different. Being able to taste all the different kind of interpretations and not having the sauce really mask it. So you're just smoke and rub flavors. And man, because I personally like it. When I cook them at home, I like them dry myself. I mean, we usually have sauce there, and for anybody that wants it, but I like to cook them dry and just have a real set bark on it. It's my personal preference. So
that's how Chef Jay does it. I mean, that Texas style. I mean, it's pepper, it's salt, it's garlic forward, and I mean all their sauces on the side. And so I mean that to me, I mean it's new to me, and it was just like I'm digging it. I'm liking it.
Right.
This is cool. So I mean, to me, it's just like, what are my rubs going to be like this on this? Because my original. I mean, that's why I made it. That was to be on a rib. Was to be for that. So it's So that was cool. So I totally get that.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of ribs, you guys want to give away some Prairie Fresh stuff? What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey,
we got that 4-pack. We got a 4.
I told you in my questionnaire, I'm down to give a couple bottles of my rubs away too.
Yeah, no, for sure. We would love to do that. We might set that up for next week. We've got Mr. Jason Cole joining us next week from the Lebanon, Tennessee Smoke on the Shores cook-off. Going to join us and talk a little bit about what's going on next week. So we'll set that up. Why don't we? So what works for you? You want people to? How do you want to run it, man? You want them to use your hashtag? You want to tag them in the comments? What works for you? What's best?
Whatever the case is, I can ship stuff out to you guys. However you guys want to do it, it don't bother me now.
Have
Well, I
them
mean,
do like
let's start it right
JDQ
now.
boom. Yeah.
I mean,
Hashtag JDQ boom right in the comments now.
yeah,
Yeah.
whatever works,
Yeah.
man.
We'll
Whoever
run it
has the
right now.
most,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Throw it up in there. Hashtag JDQ boom in the comments. Get you entered to win a couple rubs for Mr. Josh Dewitt. Go ahead and tag them as well. That'd be cool. JDQ Barbecue, JDQBBQ.
Yeah.
And that's where you're at, right? Facebook and Instagram. It works both locations.
It is. And I mean, you can find me on my website. I mean, it's jdqbbq.com. If anybody ever wants to order it, that's where you can go order it from my website.
Yeah.
We'll get that in. We'll get that.
We'll jump off here. Shoot me a link, and I'll throw it on our link tree as well. We'll throw it up with the rest of our stuff and try to push it out there. But yeah, throw that up in the comments. That'll get you entered to win a couple spice rubs from Mr. Josh DeWitt JDQ, and we'll run that through next week. Announce the winner on next week's show. But we ran Prairie Fresh last week. Man, we had a bunch of entries. We appreciate y'all getting in there. YouTube, we had it in the groups. Ran some extras, and we throw all them together, put a number on it, and I do a random number generator. That's how that works. I don't bring it on the show because it eats up some time and bandwidth, but we do have a winner for that. So that is going to Stephen Audette. Stephen Audette wins the 4-pack Prairie Fresh cups from last week. Nice, Stephen, if you're on here, congratulations, man. That's a nice set. If not, we'll shoot you a message after the show's over, get your information, and those are coming straight out from Prairie Fresh. We appreciate them doing that for us for sure. They're always willing to jump in and support and help. So love us some Prairie Fresh stuff. I think I got to go to Missouri again this weekend, and then to Louisville, Kentucky, Monday and Tuesday. I think I'm stopping. No offense, I'm not coming out your way. Or I'd stop by Kansas City, but I'm gonna stop in St. Louis barbecue store, pick up some of them pre-fresh primes on my way back for take down to Tennessee with us. So unless you got them and you can ship, if you can ship them, man, I'll get them from you.
We can't ship.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I know it's tough.
That's the one thing we can't do is ship meats. If we could, we would, because we get people that call us all the time asking why we can't ship stuff. That's the one. I mean, when I came out with my sausages, I get phone calls all the time asking me to ship sausages out, and it's just that's a different level. It takes meat to just a different level of expense.
Yeah. So. No doubt. Yeah, we're gonna have a couple. Let's see, 1, 2, 3 weeks from now, I think Kevin Green's gonna join us, talk a little bit about what they do down there, and maybe we'll bring that up, how they get away with shipping all their stuff and I mean, logistically, it seems like a nightmare, but
absolutely.
Yeah. The butcher shop, they, and Red Raider Meats, that's really the only guys I know shipping big like that.
They're huge.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. They're huge. I mean, I'm doing 400 pounds at a time. I mean, they're doing thousands and thousands and thousands.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like Snake Rivers. I mean, I'm a little guy. I mean, there's,
No, man, it's easy. It's easy to maybe feel like that sometimes, but you're making a name for yourself. No doubt about it. People know you. People know who you are. There's no question. So, man, we appreciate you jumping on here tonight and talking with us, man. It's cool to see what you got going on, and seeing the class and all that stuff, man. That's a cool concept. We had talked about doing that with our little class, doing it alongside an event and trying to do that, and it just didn't work out this time. But we're going to try to throw together another one towards the end of the year, and maybe we'll try to make it happen, because I love that idea of the teams being able to come in and learn and then turn around and do it right away and kind of get that feedback, and it's a hell of a concept. I like it.
No, dude, whatever I can do to help the show. I mean, anytime you guys need anything. I mean, if you guys do something like that, just the relationship you can have with your KCBS judges. We have a great relationship with our judges here in town, and that helped tremendously. I mean, whatever I can do ever to help you guys, just let me know. I'm down.
Well, like you said about Bill, I mean, and I told Craig this, and we've talked about barbecue family, but I mean, right from the time we met, which was at the Invitational, first time we met face to face, I mean, it was like we've known each other forever, man. And you've picked just like you say about Bill, you've answered any message or anything that I've sent to you promptly. So
Absolutely.
really appreciate you, man.
All day.
Yeah.
All day. No worries. No worries at all, guys. Anytime you come roll through Kansas City, man, make sure you holler for sure.
Yeah.
Guarantee it.
Definitely do it. Definitely do it. So, all right, man, we're going to let you go. We got a couple things we'll wrap up on the show, but like I said, I appreciate you jumping on and talking with us today. It's been awesome, man.
All good, guys. I appreciate you guys letting me on here and doing what I do and letting everybody know about me, man. So it's very, very appreciative. Sure. So thank you guys.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Make sure you follow him, Facebook and Instagram, JDQBBQ. And then hashtag JDQBoom or tag them in the comments, JDQBBQ in the comments, get you to enter to win, and we'll get a winner picked next week. I'll let you know who it is and get a couple rubs out to you guys. So
a couple good ones.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Really appreciate
you. Appreciate you,
All
man.
right,
Have a good night.
Have a good night, guys.
Cool dude, man. Cool dude for sure. Glad we got an opportunity to get him on here and talk to him a little bit.
I'm sure we'll have him back too, man. Like he said, he's got all that stuff going toward the end of the year. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we got him back after, June or July sometime.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Definitely. Always into something, but man, real down to earth. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah. And just lives that. I mean, Kansas City, how cool is that? We got a good scene here, but how cool would that be to just live in one of the barbecue meccas and work in that industry like that, man?
Yeah, no doubt. So cool. Well, April 8th, Beginners to Backyard class. If you're not signed up, 5 seats left. That's all we got is 5 seats left. So like Dave said, that's only 2 teams. Make sure you get entered into that class if you're wanting to do it. It is on our link tree. Scrolling across the bottom right now, KYANABBQ on Linktree. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on YouTube. Same short on all of them, KYANABBQ. Give Great White Smoke a follow if you're not following them as well, Facebook and Instagram. Bring it on. So, yeah, we're our Kentuckiana Instagram page, man. We're flirting dangerously close with 10,000 followers. So if you are not following us on Instagram, please jump on there. Give us a follow on Instagram. Going to give something away. I don't know what it is. We cross over the 10,000 threshold. We'll have a giveaway on there as well. So appreciate Prairie Fresh as always for the sponsorship tonight. Appreciate Josh for running them rubs for next week. Give them a follow as well. And man, I think that's all I got.
Yeah, don't forget to follow Bad Ash Barbecue. That's Charles' team. He's always kind of putting himself out there back. But yeah, definitely follow them too. I mean, that's what big couple weeks, like you said, man.
Yeah.
A lot to tune in for next week and the following week.
Yeah, we got what 2 weeks till Tennessee. We're doing a bunch of stuff down in Tennessee. We're gonna do a bunch of live videos. Should have a bunch of content when we're down there. Got some new camera equipment on the way, so we'll test it out down there. Hopefully that works out for us, but should have some good stuff coming.
Hopefully the weather too, daggone forecast right now is kind of bumming, but hopefully it'll break up for us there.
Yeah, we'll make it work. So
guarantee it.
Cool. All right, man. Good talk.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you next week, Monday, 7:00. EP 15. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah.